Well, let's take you live now to the British High Commissioner in Barbados, and he's also the former Private Secretary to King Charles and Queen Consort Camilla. His name is Scott Furssedonn-Wood. Scott, thanks so much for your time. First of all, when you have this momentous occasion, and of course brings up questions about the future of the Commonwealth, what's happened where you are over the last week?
Well, here, like everywhere around the world, of course, people have been reflecting on the Queen's lifetime of service to the Commonwealth. And so there's been sorrow here, and there have been many ways in which Her Majesty's passing has been marked here. But of course, Barbados is a country which took a different path over the past year, chose to become a republic and to break that tie with the Crown, but at the same time fully committed itself to the Commonwealth. So there's a very strong sense here of belief in the future of the Commonwealth with the new king as head of the Commonwealth.
How tough was that road, Scott, to get to where you are now?
The road to a republic for Barbados?
Yeah.
Was the decision was taken by, of course, by the government and the people of Barbados to make that move, and the transition was a seamless one. The Prince of Wales, as he was then, came here for that moment of transition. He was very keen to be here to show that there were no hard feelings, to show that he fully believed in the future path that this country had taken, and to celebrate their commitment to the Commonwealth, even in their new status as a republic. And the Prince, the now King, has a very strong relationship with the Prime Minister of Barbados, because together they've been committed to tackling some of the big issues in the world around us: climate change, youth opportunity. And they both see the Commonwealth as a really important vehicle for doing just that.
Scott, you know King Charles better than most. What should we know about the new monarch?
Well, I think we probably know more about this monarch at the beginning of his reign than we've ever known about a monarch at the beginning of their reign, because, of course, he has been Prince of Wales for longer than anyone's ever done that job. He's been preparing, thinking carefully about this moment his whole life, dreading it, of course, in many ways, but still ready for when that moment came. He comes into the job better prepared. He's travelled the world more than any monarch has ever travelled at this point in their reign before. He's met more people. He knows about the issues. He's spent a lifetime championing different causes. So he comes into this new role with a very clear idea about the world around him, knowing the world around him, but bringing very much his own experience into this new position, this new role that he occupies, taking over the Queen's legacy. He's committed himself to that lifetime of service, just as Her Majesty did, but he'll absolutely be approaching it in his own way, having spent all of this time building up to this moment.
And what about Camilla, Scott?
Well, we see her now coming into a new role as well as Queen Consort. She will do it with her own style. She has a wicked sense of humour, as he does, but she has a particular sense of humour, which we saw time and again as I travelled the world with them. Very often she was able to lift everyone's spirits with her sense of humour, and I'm sure we'll see that in the new role as well. But what we will certainly see is them as a partnership, as a team. They very much support each other. I've seen that around the world. I've seen that in all sorts of situations. They depend upon each other, and they're better together, supporting each other in different ways. And I think that relationship, that partnership, will absolutely come into its own in this new phase in their lives.
Yeah, their evolution in the eyes of the public has been quite something to see, but now King Charles has a few issues that he needs to deal with, one of them being his son Harry, I guess. Scott, again, you know the family better than most. Is there a pathway back into the fold for Harry?
Well, I'm not close enough to the family to know more about that than you do. But I think what we've seen over the past week looks like the beginning of something. Let's hope that that's the case. But it's clear, it's always been clear that the king loves both his sons very much. And ultimately, this is a family. and they'll find a way to resolve this, as all families have to find ways to resolve different challenges that they face.
Alrighty, Scott, appreciate your time this morning, Australian time. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Scott.